Yo, what's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Sunday fun day. You guys know the vibes, man. Let's get it. It's about that time, man. Favorite day of the week. It's time to party, man. And the market looks like it's ready to party. And we were the first to arrive, and we're going to be the last to leave. Dump this bitch to the ground. That's what this chart looks like. Chart looks like death, lower, floor, crash. What's good, though, everybody? What's good? Jaden, Girl with Gold, Sherman, Rob, Nelson. Let's go. Nod, Francisco, KC, Rhea, Steadfast, Mr. Walcott, Janae, Mark, Pablo, Brother AP, Michelle, Nino, Cherry, Fleeky, Chocolate, Kyle, Desi, T. Let's fucking go, man. Let's go. Michelle, Blocker, Pablio, Pascal, Dahlia, Shay, Nell, what's good, brother? Continuous growth. Joe, Dan, Rohit. Let's go, man. We got a beautiful week ahead of us. Market's been very, very nice to trade. We've been on top of the market, most importantly. This year we have taken one loss. I've taken one loss in 2025 so far. And, yeah, man, we've been absolutely killing it. We've been absolutely killing it. Yeah, Tradeovate is having some issues, which I'm a little upset about because I plan to enter a trade with you guys right now. I just exited one, but I was looking to re-enter. And unfortunately, that's what I was just looking at right now. I can't re-enter. I'm getting issues on my end. So if you guys could, let me know when it's working again, and we'll see if we can take a trade. But, yeah, man. Happy Sunday, everybody. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Let's get right into it, man. For anybody that's new here, we're going to get into the economic data for the week ahead first. And then number 2, we are going to hop in the charts. Start with futures. Then we'll move into the watch list for the week ahead. Let me know if you guys are ready. And we'll rock out, man. I'm on your guys' time. Whenever you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it. Turn the volume up. Man, you have to do that on your end, because if I turn the volume up, it'll turn up for everybody. You have to do that on your end. On my end, the volume's turned all the way up, so it's the best I can do for you. Alrighty, you guys. First things first, let's get into this economic calendar, and then we'll hop into the charts. And let's have a great night, everybody. Welcome. Just want to say first things first. Appreciate everybody for taking time out of your Sunday to come kick it. And yeah, man, going into Monday, January 13th. Nothing of importance here on Monday. Coast is clear in terms of economic data. But, very big but. Tuesday is where the fun begins. Tuesday, January 14th. We have PPI at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is the start of the big data for the week. January 14th, Tuesday, 8:30 a.m. PPI. That's not the biggest point, though. The biggest point here is actually Wednesday. Wednesday, January 15th at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have CPI. This is at the top of the scale in terms of major economic data that moves the market. From scale to 1 to 10, I would give this a solid 7, 8. Depending on how the numbers are, this could be a 9 or 10. It's up there with the FOMC for sure. So big days this week. Tuesday, Wednesday, January 14th, January 15th, and Thursday, piggybacking off of that CPI report, Thursday, January 16th, we have our usual jobless claims, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we have PMI also at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, along with retail sales as well at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Friday, nothing really of importance here. Big data days, Tuesday, January 14th, just to recap, PPI. Wednesday, January 15th, biggest day of the week, 8:30 a.m. we have CPI. And then Thursday, we have retail sales, PMI, and jobless claims all at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So the biggest days this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I would not swing from Tuesday into Wednesday because CPI, as I stated, is one of those biggest reports. And yeah, man, that's what we got to look forward to for the week ahead. Let's get it. Alrighty, y'all. Kick it off tonight with NQ. I know a lot of you guys like to follow along, so when you guys are ready, let me know, and we'll get this thing going because we got a lot to cover. It's going to be a big week, y'all. It's going to be a big week. This chart looks deadly. Deadly, deadly, deadly. Deadly. Where do I find that information? Investing.com. Investing.com. That is where I find that information. Let me know when you guys are ready, and we'll go ahead and rock out, man. Alrighty. How does my volume sound on your guys' end? Is it low? Do I need to turn it up a little bit? How does the volume sound on your guys' end? Is that good? Is it louder? What do you guys think? Testing, testing. This will be number 1. Testing, testing. This will be number 2. What sounds better? 1 or 2? 1 or 2? Where are we at? Two sounds better? Perfect. Awesome. All right, we'll rock out with 2. Alrighty, you guys. We are looking at NQ here, and this is a beautiful chart. Coming into a new month, January here, fresh year. And this is the first monthly candle, obviously, January, and it's a very important one, right? It's a very important one. If you were to dissect this current chart, right, where we're currently trading, let's break this down real quick from a monthly standpoint, all right? Let's break this down from a monthly standpoint. We have previous all-time highs here, right? If you look at this monthly chart, we broke them once, we broke them twice, and we attempted to break them 3 times. So if you look at this monthly chart, this is now a picture-perfect double top. Now, it's not just a double top. A double top is, obviously equal highs. This would be considered a failure to go higher, right? Failure to go higher. Why is that? Because the stock literally failed to go higher. It attempted once, twice, 3 times, and failed all 3 attempts, right? Now, if you really pay attention to this chart, the middle, number 2 here, was accompanied with an increase in volume. On top of that, what's very important to pay attention to is number 3 here. Number 3 actually attempted to go higher again, right? Because if you look at this wick here, at one point in time, this candle was green. Sellers stepped in and now pushed this candle into new lows, right? Not just any old new lows, it broke that previous month's low. Now, I'm gonna give you guys a quick lesson real quick. We're gonna go to Google. Let's go to images real quick. And I'm going to show you guys what is forming. I'm going to show you guys what is forming. If we were to paste this here, pull it up, right now we have a classic evening star forming. It's in the early stages, obviously, right? We have the starting point, we have the middle bar, and now we're forming the final confirmation of an evening star. And the way that you trade this is this current candle. So just for perspective, right? We usually trade on a 5-minute time frame, which is why we trade shorter expirations, because the trades usually work out within a matter of seconds to minutes or that trading day, right? Think about this. This is a monthly time frame. So if we're looking at a setup here on the monthly time frame, this has to be a swing, right? This has to be a swing because we are trading on the monthly, right? This is going to play out in a matter of weeks or a month at least, right? So with that being said, if we're looking to trade this, and a lot of you guys asked me for my rationale on going short, this is my rationale, right? We have a double top, we have that failure to go higher, and I got confirmation via a candlestick reversal pattern, which is that evening star, and the way you trade it is a break below the middle bar's low, right? So once we broke that previous month's low, that was a trigger to go short. Where's your stop loss in this scenario? Your stop loss is back above the current month's high. Your target is going to be based off obviously your support and resistance. In this case, it would be support. Next big levels down here at 18,000 with obviously minor daily and hour levels on the way through. But if you're looking at this chart from a monthly standpoint, this would be considered bearish, right? Not bearish in terms of overall structure and sentiment, but bearish indication of a reversal. Now, what would confirm a reversal is if we took out, obviously, that recent higher low, right? And then obviously we have the former lower high. But this, as of right now, is a bearish indication of a reversal, right? We are at very high risk of seeing a massive reversal, right? So taking that into the weekly time frame, what are we looking for, right? We're looking to piggyback off of that monthly, right? Because when we're looking through these time frames, we're looking for the two C's, confluence and conflict. So coming off of that monthly, we know we already have bearish insight, right? We can see that monthly is in fact reversing into a bearish pattern, right? So going into the weekly, we're going to see if that is in confluence with the weekly time frame, and in fact is, right? We have those previous all-time highs, we have a lower high on the weekly, we have another lower high on the weekly, and now if you look at previous week's close, right, we have a massive bearish engulfing on that previous week with an increase in volume. So here on the weekly, that is also in confluence with that monthly time frame, right? So what we would be looking for here on the weekly is a simple break below that previous week's low, which would be that 20,880 I kept spoken about last week, right? If we break that 2880, it's very likely we're going to trade lower into that 25s and down potentially even to the 20,000 flat. So piggybacking off that monthly, this is also in a line with it, right? Going to the daily, right? Going to the daily, if you were to break this down, right? What is happening here on the daily? First things first, we have our all-time highs. Important to note, we have a lower high, we have another lower high, we had equal lows, which was based off of that macro demand at 2980. We broke that on Friday. Tonight's session, when the market opened, attempted to go higher, failed, and now we're back down at that Friday's low. So looking at the daily chart here, it is also in confluence with that weekly and monthly. So now we have these multiple time frames in confluence. That increases confidence and conviction once we get down to those lower time frames and find a setup and align with those higher time frames. So looking at this daily chart here, this also looks amazing for lower, right? Look at Friday's action. Big bearish engulfing paired with high rising volume, right? This is what we want to see. So if we go down to the hourly, this is where we can really nail down our setups, right? So what are we looking for the week ahead? First things first, a lot of you guys asked me, why was I short on Friday, right? Why was I short on Friday? Look at the break and retest. Major support that was broken, turned to resistance. That is why I went short on Friday. Very simple, right? Same thing we're watching this week. So now if you look at this hourly chart, this is a full-blown downtrend. We have multiple lower highs, multiple lower lows. So we're looking to trade with the trend here, right? But we also need to be open-minded. So with that being said, what we need to watch on NQ this week is a few things, right? One is we're testing this macro demand, 2880. So there is a possibility here that we hold. And in that case, if we do hold here on NQ, if we hold this 2880, that would now form that double bottom here on the hourly. What we're looking for is a break above that previous hourly's high, which would be 21,000. We get back above 21,000, we can look for a long position back into this 21,180, 21,200 area, and that's where we can look to take a reject, right? Off this massive supply. That would be the game plan here. If we hold, right? So if this 2880 level holds, we can look for a move back above 21,000, go long, back above that 21,000, targeting that 21,180, 21,200 area, and that's where we can look to flip short for a reject. That 21,200 is the absolute line in the sand, right? In my opinion, as long as we're below this, this is still structured for lower. If we happen to reclaim this, 21,200, that's where we really can be confident flipping long, looking for a move back at 21,400, ultimately into these levels at 21,500, 21,600 being that next massive supply. All right, and that's what I'll be looking for in terms of upside. Downside, very simple, right? Like I said, as long as we're below that 21,200, simply look for those pops to short back into it. If we get below that 2880, that's where we can be extremely confident going short for continuation down into 2,700, 2,500, and ultimately those low 20,000s. And that's going to be the game plan for the week ahead, right? Very simple. Big level to the upside, 21,200. Big level to the downside, 2880. Very simple, right? Now, ES, right? This is another very, very clean chart. If we start on the monthly time frame here, let's really dissect what's going on. First things first, we all get it, right? Market's extremely bullish. Overall uptrend, we got it. But we need to focus on what's going on right now, right? What's going on right now? If you look at this chart here, we attempted to go higher on that previous month's high and failed, creating that double top as we've seen on the weekly and daily. Again, this comes with time and experience, guys, where you'll be able to look at a higher time frame and see the pattern on a lower time frame without even looking at it. So don't stress if you're like, how the fuck does he do that? It's called experience, it's called time on the charts, and intuition, being able to replicate what I've seen before, right? But if you look at this chart from a monthly standpoint, one, we have a high volume failure of previous all-time highs. Check. Two, we broke that previous month's low after a significant pop on the current month. So this looks primed for continued downside, right? This looks absolute primed for continued downside. So starting our analysis here on ES, we're taking off the monthly that we have bearish insight, right, of a potential reversal. So we're going to carry that over into the weekly as well. If we go to the weekly, is this time frame aligned with that monthly? Yes, it is, right? It is, in fact, right? We have our high, we have a lower high, we have a bearish engulfing off of last week, right, with an increase in volume. Current weekly candle is in fact below that major support. So again, this is also aligned with that monthly. This is a bearish chart at the moment, right? Is the overall trend bearish? No. But are we seeing bearish sentiment at the moment in terms of this chart? Yes, we are, right? 100% fact we are. So we're going to carry that same mindset into the daily, right? And if you look at the daily, you're getting confluence here as well, right? We had that head and shoulders. That's why I went short initially. And when I tell you guys, we literally caught 100% of this move almost. We did, right? We caught the FOMC move. I went short before FOMC. We then went short again on the retest of that left shoulder supply, number two. We then went short again off that lower high of 60.70. And then we went short again last Thursday into Friday, right? We literally caught every single dollar of this move so far. Friday, right? As of right now, right? Friday, what do? We re-entered short. Why? You guys can see what happened. We closed below that support with a bearish engulfing, right? The most probable scenario here is lower, right? Is lower, right? And what we need to be watching here is very simple. Very similar to, obviously, NQ, right? Very similar, obvious to NQ. Give me 1 second. I don't know why my levels disappeared. ES, what we need to be watching here. First things first. Big level here, 58.40, right? So, as always, I like to keep you guys prepared. If we form a double bottom here and we reclaim 58.50, that would trigger a long position back into 58.70. If we get above 58.70, that would really trigger a long back into 5900. Main watch is going to be this 59.18, 59.20 area for another rejection and swing entry to go short. All right, line in the sand for ES in terms of downside is this 59.20. In my opinion, as long as we're below 59.20, shorts are valid, right? Look for that move back down into 58.50. Big line in the sand here, 58.40. Current tonight's overnight low. If we get below 58.40, literally be extremely confident going short down into 5800. Lower targets being that 57.50, 5700. That's simple, right? That's simple. That's the game plan on ES. And yeah, man, looks very, very good. YM, right? Talk about confluence, looking at the overall market and futures that are in correlation with each other. What do you notice here with this YM chart? This is also pretty bearish, right? You got that monthly tweezer top. You got a break of that previous month's low. If you look at the weekly time frame, what do you notice here? Big bearish engulfing and just broke that macro demand. So coming from NQ, coming from ES, where both of those charts are in fact bearish at the moment as well. We have YM here, which is the Dow. This is also a bearish chart. So now we have confluences through indices, right? Which increases confidence for that downside move, right? So if we're looking at the charts here, we go to RTY as well. Is this aligned with ES, NQ, and Dow? It in fact is, right? It is. We got that obviously massive monthly double top. Broke that previous month's low, that massive structure after flipping that monthly candle from green to red, right? You go to the weekly. What do you notice here? We just absolutely cracked this major uptrend trendline support after forming a high, a lower high, swept that macro demand here, breaking that higher low, now forming a new lower low to pair with that lower high. This is also a chart that's geared for much lower. Obviously, right? Anybody who can look at this chart and see anything other than lower needs their eyes checked, right? Monthly, weekly, I mean, look at this weekly chart. We're coming off a bearish engulfing after breaking a major support. RTY and IWM look primed for a move lower. 21,000, potentially even down to this 2,000 level. Excuse me, 2,100 down into that 2,000, right? All of these charts are aligned with each other. And I want you guys to also pay attention to when we get into these individual names, right? You're going to notice that they're also aligned with those charts. And I'm a little upset because I missed this setup. If you guys want to see a definition of a beautiful A+ swing setup, this is it, right? Look at this chart. One high, two highs, forming that double top. FOMC move. Broke that massive structure, right? What do we do? Retest. Retest. That's an A+ short entry. You got a massive, strong break into it, through it. Low volume retest. Look at that low volume. That's a beautiful swing. And obviously we caught SPY and QQQ, but that was a beautiful chart. Now, this is a chart I love for the week ahead, so I'm going to cover it. But what we need to be watching here, right? You guys can see we just broke an absolute massive demand, which is also the 200 MA on the daily. So on RTY here, IWM, as long as we're below this 2210, 2220 area, just simply look for those pops to short. That's it. If we get below 2180, look for that continuation lower down into 2100, ultimately targeting that 2000 level. In my opinion, this looks best out of all four of them, right? This looks absolutely beautiful. Out of NQ, ES, YM, RTY looks the absolute best. And as you guys can see, for valid reason, right? So with that being said, that's what I'm watching on RTY. And even right now, if you're looking for a futures trade right now, right? I think Trade of 8 is still down for me, but I'll check in a second. What I would watch here, classic break and retest, right? If we push back into this 2186, 2188, this is where you would look to go short. Keep a stop above that recent swing high, which would be 2190. That would be your stop loss, 2190. If we push back into 2186, 2188, that's where you would look to go short. First target would be that low. Second target would be that 2150 from our higher time frame level. And that would be the game plan here on RTY. If it happens while I'm on this live, I'll take it with you guys. If it doesn't, take it on your own. All right? Now, let's get into a few other names here. Gold, in my opinion, looks great as well. A big one I want to talk about is oil, man. You guys know, we were early as early gets on this, and I do want to talk about it as a learning experience for you guys. I'm a little upset, right? I'm a little upset. I shouldn't have sold when I sold, and yeah, it is what it is ultimately. But this is just a beautiful chart. I mean, we literally entered oil. We entered oil right here. Like we were the earliest you could possibly get off of early entering on that higher low. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. I mean, from our entry, I think it's up 13% on equity, 14% on equity, which is just absolutely insane for a futures move, for an indices move. That is insane. I checked on Friday. Our USO contracts were like 2,000%, and I sold for 50. So, yeah. And actually, I got something for that. I literally made this meme this weekend because of this oil trade. And I was going to post the chart on an Instagram post. I literally made this weekend. Just think about it. We entered here. We sold here. Is this not the truth, though? Is this not the best trading meme you've ever seen? And I made it. I made it. I'm very proud about this meme. This meme is the shit. I swear, man, it's every time. You're like, yeah, I'm going to hold this winning trade. Take profit at 20%. Goes to 100%. Next thing you know, it's at 1,000. It's crazy. Alrighty, let's get into this individual watch list. And, yeah, man, let's go. First things first here. Oh, we got to go over QQQ and SPY. I know a lot of you guys like to follow along, so let me know when you guys are ready. We're going to go over and QQQ, and then we'll get into SPY, and then we'll get into the individual names. And I have a few swings that I want to cover. Datadog is my main watch. We entered it last week, but I didn't want to swing it over the weekend, so I stopped out. But I'm going to re-enter this week. Alrighty, y'all. QQQ. Here we go. Obviously, it's similar chart to NQ, right? We broke that previous month's low. Got that evening star forming here on the monthly. Looks absolutely beautiful. Got that weekly bearish engulfing with rising volume. Looks absolutely beautiful. Daily chart. We got 2 lower highs now. As you guys can see here, lower high, lower high. Broke that massive demand from last week's session. This looks very, very good. Very, very good. Very, 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 very good. What I want to talk about, though, is translate the levels from NQ to QQQ for you guys. Alrighty, first things first. Massive levels here on QQQ. 511, 512. As long as we're below this area, simply look for those pops back in a 511, 512 for a short. If you want to go short for a swing, 511, 512. That's simple. If we can get below this 504 level, literally just short the pops, target down here at 494, all the way potentially down to these 485s. If we break this 504 level and get below 500, I think it's going to be an absolute bloodbath until low 480s. That's my personal opinion. And that's what I'm watching on QQQ this week. And as always, I'd like to keep you guys prepared. Line in the sands that 512. If somehow we get strong, reclaim 512, that's where we can flip long, target and move back into 517, and then that 522. But as of right now, all of these charts look absolutely amazing for lower, and you guys know exactly why. SPY, another beautiful chart here. Obviously, everything's still the same as ES. Weekly bearish engulfing, rising volume, monthly flip. Daily looks absolutely beautiful with multiple lower highs. Nice rising volume through Friday's session. Hourly chart, absolutely beautiful as well. Game plan here on SPY, line in the sand is that 586. In my opinion, as long as we're below 586, just look for those pops back into 585, 586 to go short. That would be the best swing entry as well. Downside, very simple. 578 is that big pivot. If SPY gets below that 578, simply just look to short those pops. Target 575. Lower targets would be low 570s or sub 570. In my opinion, this looks absolutely amazing as well. Gets below 578, short it to the fucking ground. And that would be the game plan there on SPY. And again, like to keep you guys prepared in all aspects. In the case that we get strong somehow, what we need to watch is that 586. If we reclaim 586, that's where we can look to flip long, target that 590, and then 594. That would be the game plan there on SPY. But like I said, charts look amazing for lower, and you guys know exactly why. Most importantly. Alrighty, let's get into these individual names, and then we'll call it a night. Oh, you guys want giveaway as of now? I think Dom's here tonight. Everybody, keep Dom in y'all's prayers because he is in LA along with anybody in LA. I hope all of you guys are safe. And yeah, man, that's very unfortunate. I don't want to go down a rabbit hole, but it's just crazy how something like that can happen, and they allow it to happen without having the proper precaution and being proactive to prevent stuff like that. It just doesn't make sense. If you know there's wildfires and they tend to spread pretty quickly, why are you not equipped to protect your city, your county, your state? Doesn't make sense. But yeah, man, I'm not gonna go down a rabbit hole. I don't talk about politics. Don't like talk about news or anything like that. But that's my little piece I wanted to state. And yeah, man. Alrighty, let's get into Tesla. Absolutely love this chart for the week ahead. Weekly chart, you guys can see here. Beautiful, beautiful bull flag pulling back into this massive demand at 378. Daily chart is also, in fact, very beautiful. Throughout last week's weakness, Tesla managed to hold up pretty strong, forming a nice little double bottom here. And this chart on the hourly is, in fact, a very beautiful either-or chart. Got a nice drop base here from that move down into that 372, which we bounced back into 427, leaving us with a nice setup here. Ignore that candle down to 379. That was a manipulation candle. But this is the range that we have here on Tesla. 387 being the bottom portion, 402 being the top. Very simple approach here on Tesla. If we get above 402, simply look for that next pullback to go long. Target that 413, 427. I think either way this goes, we're going to see a big move, especially if the market's behind it. So Tesla above 402, long it, target that 413. Downside, watching at 387. If we get below 387, that's where we can look to short Tesla back down to 378, ultimately targeting that 373 level from that massive pivot. And yeah, man, that's what I'm watching on Tesla. Beautiful drop base here. Next, we have Amazon. This is a chart I actually like, for longs for the most part. If you look at the weekly chart here, this is a beautiful bull flag. What's most important here is what we're testing. We're testing this previous all-time high resistance. This is just a classic break and retest. Absolute beautiful chart here. If you go to the daily, it's even prettier. Reason being is we actually wicked down, tested that demand, and then we closed back above that structure at 218, forming that beautiful failure to go lower here, as you guys can see, putting in a new low, reclaiming and closing above it. So Amazon here is my top watch for longs. As long as Amazon is really holding this 216, 218, in my opinion, looks great for long. What we can watch for is a pullback in that 218 for a hold to go long back into 221. Main watch is going to be get Amazon back above 221 after that demand hold. Above 221, we can look for that break and hold to go long back into 224, ultimately targeting at 225 and 230 at that massive structure up here. And that's what I'm watching on Amazon. It's my top long watch this week in case the market flips strong or Amazon tends to outperform. Next, we have Apple. Apple is one of my top watches for very valid reason. This hourly chart is in a full-blown downtrend, as you guys can see here. Broke that massive support, retested as resistance, formed that lower high, just broke that massive support again last week off of 240, and now formed another lower high. This chart is in fact a very bearish chart here on the hourly. If you were to look at the weekly as well, we broke that previous all-time high resistance, which was support, so now it's resistance again. Monthly standpoint also very beautiful. Daily chart, I'm not super fond of this big lower wick here, but this does look good. It does look good based off of Friday's weakness and that massive supply. So what I want to watch on Apple is a push back into this 240, 241 area, and that's where I want to look for a reject to go short. Downside, I want to watch this pivot here at 235.50. If we get below 235.50, I think we could see a snappy move down into 233. Below 233 gets us down into that 230. And yeah, man, that's why I'm watching Apple for the week ahead. I think this chart looks very good, especially if the market gets weak as well. Next, we have Netflix. Netflix is one of my top watches. Not my favorite stock to trade, but I do love this chart. Again, you have a beautiful evening star here on the monthly. This is the monthly time frame, so again, you guys got to look at this from a macro picture. This could take a 2, 3, 4 a month to play out in terms of weeks. And yeah, this is absolutely beautiful. You got a full-blown evening star here after breaking that previous month's low. This monthly chart looks absolutely amazing for lower. Weekly, you got that big break of structure putting us below that 860, 870, which is going to be our top watch for a reject if we can get back into that supply. So if we go down to the hourly here, that's what we're going to be watching on Netflix, is if we can get a pop back into that 860, 870 area. That's where I want to look for a reject to go short. Maybe even a swing with a stop above that 870 would look good also. Downside, if we get below this 835, Friday's lows, this is an absolute free fall down into low 800s. In my opinion, if we get below that 835, Netflix has a smooth move down into the low 800s, and I want to be a part of it, right? I want to be a part of it. So that's what I'm watching there on Netflix. Lastly here, we have AMD. AMD is a top watch for a very, very valid reason. If you look at this monthly chart here, it's been a big underperformer for some time now. Completely broke this monthly uptrend. We, in fact, have now a downtrend here on the monthly with that high, lower high, lower high, and with last week's break of that structure now putting in a new lower low to pair with that lower high. In my opinion, AMD can see a lot lower down into the 90s ultimately. And what's most important here is looking at this current monthly candle. Right, at one point in time, this was green. Seller stepped in, pushed it below that previous month's low, indicating severe weakness. So that's what I like AMD here for this week. But I am going to be open-minded. If you look at this chart from a weekly standpoint, it looks absolutely amazing as well. Broke that massive demand here at 118, coming off of a big bearish engulfing on the weekly with rising volume. Absolutely beautiful, retested that structure and absolutely dumped it. So going down to an hourly standpoint here, I think this chart, again, looks very good for lower. What I would be watching here on AMD is, first things first, there's a big level here at 117. If we can get below, excuse me, let me fix my, oh, I messed up my watch list. It's supposed to be below 114. I put 144. Shit. AMD though, this is what I'm watching. 117 here is a massive pivot. If we get above 117, I would be comfortable going long on AMD back into 120. 120 is my main watch here for a reject, and that's where I would look to short AMD. Downside, below 114.50, I think the bottom falls out back down into that 110, potentially even that big 100 level. And that's what I would be watching there on AMD. So just a quick recap, 117 being the big pivot on AMD. If we get above 117, reclaim that massive structure, we could look for that squeeze back into 120, and that's where we could go short back down into that 117. Below that 114.50 is where we can look to short AMD down to that 110, ultimately targeting that low 100 level. And that's what I'm watching here. And yeah, man, we've covered NQ, we've covered ES, RTY, YM, oil, Tesla, Amazon, Apple, Nvidia, Netflix, AMD. Covered everything we needed to cover tonight. Now, I want to get into the swings. Swings. Datadog being the first one. As you guys can see here, this is an absolute beautiful chart. Let me go ahead and fix this real quick. If you look at this from a monthly standpoint, right? This is a beautiful monthly cup and handle, whatever you want to call it. Bull flag cup and handle on the monthly. That's the first note. Weekly, beautiful cup and handle here. Macro break and retest. This is absolutely beautiful. Like I stated, last week we did enter, right? We entered, I think, on Wednesday. We were up like 20%. I wanted more, so I held. Ended up getting stopped out because I didn't want to swing it over the weekend. But I am going to re-enter this Monday if we get the chance. So that's what I'm watching here on Datadog. 136.50, 138.50 is that macro demand. And yeah, man, this looks very, very good. I love that wick off of Friday session. You guys can see here, market sold off pretty aggressively. But if you look at Datadog, wick down, and we've got that nice bottom wick here forming that pin bar after testing that demand. This is beautiful. So what we would be looking for now on Datadog is if we break Friday's highs, that's where we would go long for our swing, and our stop loss would be below that candle's low, targeting a move back into that 148. In my opinion, long as Datadog holds that 136.50, 138.50, gets back above that 141, this chart looks absolutely amazing for higher. Just buy some time on those calls and fucking hold. That's the game plan here on Datadog. It's my top swing watch. Top long swing watch. Looks absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful here. Forward, I want to keep an eye on. I'm not too intrigued with this chart at the moment. We caught it once before. It was like 50% actually. But I am going to keep an eye on it because I do think there's going to be some opportunity here. Docu, I like a lot. Retesting this massive demand here at 86.60. Not too fond of it at the moment, but I'm going to keep an eye on it into the next week. But what I would be looking for is a pullback on Docu into this 86.60, 85 level. And if we can close strong after testing that demand, that's where I'm going to look for a swing entry for a move back into that 93.60. If Docu gets above 93.60, that's where we can look for those pullbacks to go long also for a swing. Or even a day trade as well. I think this looks very good on Docu. Next is FSLR. This is kind of geared more towards large accounts, but I absolutely love this chart. You guys can see here, we just broke out of this downtrend on the daily after testing a macro demand here. Got that beautiful daily double bottom. Now we're retesting this beautiful structure here along with that trend line resistance turn support. So this is also going to be a top watch for me swing-wise this trading week. What I'll be watching here is two things. If we pull back and hold that 187 again, we can look for a demand entry below with the stop below Friday's low. Or if we can get above Friday's highs at 192, that's where we can also pick up a swing and target that 201, ultimately targeting that 212 up there. And that looks very good. So Datadog and FSLR are going to be my top swing watches as of right now. Again, Amazon, we already covered, but I'm going to keep that on watch as well. BA I covered last week. I think this also looks absolutely amazing. You got this beautiful cup and handle here on BA Weekly, retesting that daily 200 and that massive demand at 170. I think this chart looks very, very good also. Monthly chart's beautiful. Daily, we got that beautiful bull flag. I think this looks very, 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 very good for a swing. What I would be watching here on BA is two things. First things first is if we pull back into 170, we can enter our swing there on a strong closure with the stop below 167.40. Or if we get a clean break and hold above 175, we can also enter our swing there and look for a day trade to long those dips, targeting that 180, 182. Bottom line is, I absolutely love BA long as it's above 170. Day trade wise, above 175, I think it can get pretty parabolic into 180. So BA is definitely going to be a top watch this week for me. And yeah, man, looks very, 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 very good. Did I just see oil going higher again? Is that what I seen? Oh, no, it's pulling back. Cool. Might be able to catch a pullback entry there. I love NQ short, but it won't let me enter. Still won't let me enter. That was... Did anybody catch that NQ trade? I couldn't fucking enter. My trade evade's not working. It's not working. Damn it. That was a beautiful trade. I literally just told you guys. Literally. I said if we push back into this 29.50, 29.40 and fail, it's perfect short entry targeting these lows at 28.80. I was watching it on my other screen, but my order keeps getting rejected. Fucking pissing me off. Fuck is going on here? Won't let me. Nothing. Even my personal account's not working. I tried Apex, that's not working. My personal account's not working either. What the fuck is going on here? It might be a trade evade issue then. We already caught NQ short tonight. We went short literally right here. Caught a 100-point move. Before we hopped on the live, we entered short off this 21,030. And literally caught this whole move into lows. I'm already up 1,300. And week hadn't even started. I could have held a little bit longer. It was over like 2K a contract, but I sold a little bit early. Your trade evade is working? Well, what the fuck's going on with mine? That's what I want to know. But we'll keep an eye on this for a second because I do want to enter this. If this candle closes weak and we push back into 29.35, we can look for a short there with the stop loss above these highs. That looks very good. That looks very good. Yeah, 29.35 short with the stop above 29.50. That's the game plan right now. That is the game plan right now. To be honest, like, all honesty, if you grab micros, you can grab micros here, add another here, and keep a stop loss above that 29.55. That's what I'm going to do. Fuck it. I'm just going to enter right now and add more. Yeah, I just entered. My average is 29.23. Like I said, I just entered right here. If we push back into 29.35, I'm going to add. And my stop loss is above the breakdown candle's high, which is 29.55. So from a risk reward standpoint, after an add, we'll just say 9.30 will be the average. 9.55, no, 9.51 stop. Excuse me. 9.51 stop. So from a risk reward standpoint, that's a 2.5R trade back into 28.80. That's a beautiful trade. Looks absolutely amazing. I just entered here. Like I said, I'm going to add 29.35. My stop is above 29.51. My target is 28.80. If we break 28.80, just hang on tight for the floor. That looks very good. Looks very, very good. Looks very, very good. Looks very, very good. All right, let's get back to our live here. Yeah, like I said, man, ES, NQ, RTY, YM, Literally just short the fucking pop and hold. We get a decent pop, short it, hold. I mean, anybody who looks at this charts and see anything else than lower, they need their fucking trading eyes checked. If anybody who looks at these charts and say, hey, I want to be long here, needs their fucking head checked. NQ, ES, YM, RTY. Anybody that looks at these fucking charts and says, I want to be long, needs their fucking head checked. Needs their fucking head checked. Yeah, my Apex is still getting rejected, but my personal account's not. So it might be an Apex issue. Might be an Apex issue. Alrighty, let's get back to the charts. We were at MicroStrategy. Yeah, MicroStrategy. Give me 1 second here. Gotta answer this phone call. MicroStrategy, I do like a lot. But I'm a little concerned with the weakness we're seeing in crypto. But as you guys can see here, we have a beautiful inverted head and shoulders forming. We have the left shoulder here. We have the head. And we're working on that right shoulder. So what I'm watching here on MicroStrategy is two things. Just one. Can I look at LMT and PanW? Sure, I'll check them out here in a moment. Thanks for your support, man. Appreciate it, brother. What I'm watching here on MicroStrategy is a hold off of this 320 for a long entry. Or if we can get back above this 340 level, I think this can get pretty parabolic into 370. Not my favorite watch, but I am going to keep an eye on it if crypto can get strong. Affirm, on the other hand, this is a massive, massive swing watch for me. If you go to the monthly time frame here, you'll see that this is a beautiful cup and handle. First things first, you got the cup and you got the handle forming, pulling back into this macro demand. You guys can see here, this is absolutely huge, this 52 level. That previous resistance, which we broke and haven't retested, it's an untested demand, looks absolutely beautiful. From a weekly standpoint, this is what it looks like. Daily standpoint, this is what it looks like. Absolutely beautiful here. You guys can see this is a massive, massive, massive demand. So what I'm watching on Affirm is a further pullback into 5150, 5250 to enter a swing targeting back into that 59 level. We'll enter this sometime this week if we get the chance. Obviously, we need a little bit lower first, but this is a top swing watch. A few more I want to cover. Gold, I'm keeping an eye on for a swing as well. You guys can see here, we just broke this downtrend here on gold, reclaimed this massive structure here, 2450, 246. So what I want to watch on gold is first things first, pull back in a 245, 246. If we get that pullback, that's where I'm going to look to enter long for a swing. Or if we can break Friday's highs, I'm going to look for a swing entry as well below Friday's lows back into 252. I think this chart looks A+ for higher. Look at the volume we had traded on Friday. It looks absolutely beautiful with that structure break. Disney, keeping an eye on as well. I do think there could be some value here if we hold this 107, 110 demand. As you guys can see, this is just a perfect break and retest here on Disney. So if this demand holds off 107, 108, I am going to look for a swing entry here back into that 120. I think that looks very good. Got quite a few swings this week I'm watching. And yeah, man, that's everything. That's what I'm watching for the week ahead. Last one here is American Eagle. This is for our small account. I think this looks very, very good. Testing this macro demand here at 16, 15.9. Last time we tested this was back in October and November of last year. Currently just tested it, formed a beautiful double bottom. Failure to go lower on the daily, as you guys can see here. Attempted to go lower off that daily low, failed it, put in a new low, and then reclaimed and closed strong. So what we'd be watching here on American Eagle is two things. One, this week, if we pull back in that 16 hold and we can get another nice strong closure, we can enter long there with a stop loss below that 15.8 and target that 1740. So that's what I'm watching on American Eagle. Like I said, we got quite a few swing watches. The top swing watches are Datadog for a re-entry. Entered last week, but like I said, I didn't want to swing over the weekend, so I exited. But I'm looking for a re-entry this week. This is my top swing watch. FSLR is my second top swing watch. And obviously we got Amazon, Affirm, and these other names as well. And yeah, man, that's everything I'm watching for the week ahead. Let's get into these giveaways, and then we'll call it a night, all right? We'll call it a night. If you got a second, would you take a look at KO and Meta? Definitely. Appreciate it, Pascal. Appreciate your support. First, let's take a look at LMT. LMT. Holy shit. It's getting absolutely annihilated. Right now it's down 25% from highs. I mean, this is a chart that it's just where we're currently trading, I just don't see anything I would love to do. Only thing I would look to do here is if we push back into 477, that's where you could look for a short entry for a swing back down to this 452. Or if we continue seeing weakness without a relief bounce, watch this 452, 450 area for a long entry. That's what I would watch. So the big levels here on LMT, 477, 450. If we push back into 477, watch for a reject for a swing. If we continue selling with no relief, watch that 450, 452 for a demand bounce. That's the only thing I really see here. PNW, massive demand here at 164. Massive supply here at 178.20. Again, based off its current weakness, I'll be more inclined to watch this 178, 179 area for a reject. If we continue selling, watch this big structure here at 164 for a potential relief bounce. And that's pretty much the only thing I like there. If it gets below this 164, it's literally lights out down into this 130s, 140s. But yeah, it's a decent chart. I don't see anything imminent on it though that we could trade. KO and Meta. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I would actually watch this 164, 163 on PNW for a potential swing off of this massive uptrend support and demand. Actually looks pretty good. I'll set an alert down there. KO. If it gets below this KO gets below Friday's low, 60.6. I definitely think this can see a lot lower, down into 58. If it holds this demand at 60.6 and we get back above, KO gets back above this 61.7, I think we could see a nice move higher. That's what I would watch there. Alrighty. Let's get into these giveaways and do a quick Q&A and call it a night. Alright. Talk a little bit about psychology as I discussed in my post, and we'll wrap it up. Alright, I owe you guys 2 giveaways, so let's go ahead and get into that. First things first here. Let's go ahead and pull up this. Let's go to our settings, keyword giveaway. Bada bing. First one is going to be first. All you got to do is type first in the chat 1 time, and you'll be good to go. That's all you got to do. Type first in the chat 1 time. That is all you got to do. That is all you got to do. We'll give this one 15 seconds. Fifteen seconds. Alrighty. Excuse me. Good luck, everybody. Raya. Ooh, that's a good winner. Let's go. Good winner. Chicken dinner. Let's go. Where you at, Raya? Gotta claim it. Let's go. Raya, where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? That's a good winner, though, for sure. Uh-oh. We're getting down to the cutoff, Raya. Where you at? Here? There we go. Let's go. She's attended a ton of lives. Appreciate all your support, Raya. Love to see that you won. Love to see that you won. Go send that over to Dom real quick. Let's get on to number 2, alright? Let's reset all these entries. Go to settings, next. Let's do 2025 for the next one. All you got to do is type 2025 in the chat 1 time, and you'll be good to go. Congrats to Raya. First winner of the night. One more coming in hot. I'm going to go ahead and reset this as well. This is definitely obtainable. I just reset the like counter. Appreciate every single one of you guys, regardless whether you like it or not. I meant like the video or not. Not that type of way. But yeah, somehow we hit 500 before the live's over. I'll do a $500 giveaway straight up. Yeah, man. Regardless, you guys win or not, I appreciate every single one of you guys. I want you guys to know that you guys know I do these lives for you. I showed you guys my analytics. I make $0 from these lives. I will never stop doing them. I literally do them for you guys every single week. I've done it for years. I'm going to continue doing it as long as I'm alive. All right? And yeah, man, the way you guys can support me, you show up. If you want to, drop a gift that's completely cool, or a super chat, or a funded message, whatever you want to do, that's completely fine as well. You don't have to. I'm not going to push you to. If you do or don't, that's completely fine. I just appreciate you guys showing up. If you want to show your support, like I said, just like it. That's all you got to do. And yeah, man, again, appreciate every single one of you guys, especially taking your time at 9 p.m. on a Sunday. And alrighty, good luck, everybody. Luis Rodriguez. Good luck, good luck, good luck. You got 45 seconds to claim it. Hopefully you're here. Hopefully you're here. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Luis. Louis or Luis? Which one is it? Is it Luis or Louis? Luis. I'm going to talk about how I got the name in a second. Give me 1 second. That's a great winner. That's a great winner. I forgot. I was supposed to talk about how I got the name Felony, or why my name is Felony. So we'll do one more giveaway regardless. So you guys don't have to worry about smacking the 500. We'll do one anyway. Alrighty. So let's take a break from the giveaways for a second. We'll do more before I'm done. 10 of you guys asked me, how did I get the name Felony? All right. Majority of you guys know. For those who don't, I am a 3-time convicted felon. Right. When I turned 18, I was caught in an indictment. I got hit with 7 different distributions. Ended up pleading out to 3 of them in 2 different counties. I did close to 4 years, a week after I turned 18. And yeah, that's how I got the name Felony. A lot of people hide from their past. I don't. Throw it on my shoulder and I wear it on my sleeve. Maybe the man I am today. And yeah, man, I just felt like the name was fitting, Felony Trades, because what I do to the market on a daily basis is definitely a crime for sure. But nah, man, I just wanted to own it. I felt like it was cool. I felt like it was different. And again, I just, it just felt fitting. Felony Trades just felt fitting. But that's the why behind it. Yes, I really have a felony. I have 3 to be exact. And yeah, that's the only time I've ever been in trouble. I don't have a criminal record at all outside of a distribution, 3 of them. And yeah, that was pretty much it. I don't come from money. I did what I did because I had to do it, right? I made my first 6 figures at 17, cash. I could show you guys the discovery. They took $97,624 from me. Yeah, when I was 17 years old. Kept it all in a shoebox inside of the wall between the drywall and electrical box. I've posted pictures before. It's not something I'm trying to glorify or anything like that, but, made me who the man I am today, I'm very grateful, very appreciative. And, as always, I try to provide nothing but honest and transparency. I don't hide from anything. I'll never hide from it. It is what it is. Nah, it wasn't the snow game. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with dog food, but it sells itself. I've talked about how I got into it as well, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't know what I was doing. It started with weed. Went to pick up a pack one time. He said, "Here, take this with you." And, I told you guys the story. Came back. One of my good friends does a lot of snow. I gave it to him. And he did it or whatever. I called him. No answer on the phone. Next day, he hits me back. He's like, "Bro, what the fuck did you give me? I did it, and I was passed out for the rest of the day." And I was like, "Bro, I don't know. It was white, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know I don't do it. I've never done. The only thing I've ever done in my life, I smoked weed, and I've taken a Percocet because I had my tonsils removed. That's it. So when he came back, he was like, bro, whatever you gave me was like the opposite of snow, right? And I was like, oh shit. And then check this out. Like 2 hours later, I had his friend call me. Yo, whatever you gave Andy, I need that now. And I was like, all right, bet. Cool, no problem. Bam. And then it was literally like a spiral out of control. You know what I mean? It just word of mouth got around, and then that was it. Yeah. But the reason it was so worse because it was so bad because it had fentanyl in it, and I didn't know that, obviously. So when it came back, that's when the epidemic was getting really, really bad, and they absolutely smoked me. Yeah, it was pedal to the floor from there, bro. When I shit you not, at one point I was making like 3K, 4K a day profit. Just to numbers, so you guys understand numbers. I was paying literally. Check this out. I was paying $75 a gram. I was selling a gram for $3.75. $3.75. A point was 30. 30. There's 10 points in a gram. How it goes. But yeah, man, that's how I got the name Felony. That's a little backstory on it. I don't think I've went that much into detail before, but I'm always gonna be transparent, man. Whatever you guys gotta ask me, you guys can always ask me. Whether it's trading, whether it's business, whether it's personal, whatever you guys gotta. Yeah, man. Whatever you guys. The risk to reward was not good, not good at all. The risk was me losing my freedom. I literally did all of that for nothing. Like my lawyer, I paid $45,000. So when I got out, I was broke. I literally did everything I did for nothing. Right? They took all my money. It was fucking absolutely stupid. I have no clue. I do not know what's going on with Apex. I do not know what's going on with Apex. But yeah, man, we're gonna go ahead and do one more giveaway. We're gonna call it a night. If you guys got any questions in between now and then, feel free to ask them. Whether it's trading, whether it's personal, whether it's business, it doesn't matter, right? You guys know you're more than welcome to ask me anything. To be honest, that's not even half of what happened. You know what I mean? Like man, you wouldn't believe half of the shit that I seen at a young age. Am I gonna quit vaping this year? Yeah, that definitely is my goal. That's probably my worst vice right now is vaping. I hate it. Alrighty, let's get this one giveaway and then we'll call it a night. Alrighty, here we go. Let's reset everything. Next. We'll make it turbo. Turbo's the last one. 30 seconds. Gotta go. Let's get it. What state am I in? You want my social as well or no? Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm in Virginia. Did I add on NQ? Nah, I'm just holding. How to get into trading? Shit, I've been into crypto since RuneScape days, since I was like 14, 15. I used to buy party hats, Christmas crackers, dragon claws with crypto. I bought my first 3 party hats in Bitcoin when Bitcoin was literally $6, $7, $8, $9, $10. I had 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 Bitcoin back at that time that I traded for in-game items that were pixels. I've been in crypto literally forever. But I got into trading from... I started with, obviously, options. A buddy of mine used to gamble earnings. That's how I started. And then moved to penny stocks. And from penny stocks, went to options again. And then, yeah, man. That's pretty much it. Alrighty. Good luck, everybody. Good luck. Galternate. By the way, if anybody didn't get filled on NQ, you should have just got filled. Came back to 29.35, so I did get my ad on it. My average is now 29.34. Stops above that 29.51, and yeah, that's the gameplay. I don't love that we just made a higher low there, but I'm gonna stick it out. Galternate, where you at? Self-taught 100%. I've never taken a course, never taken anything. Not saying that's right. I don't encourage that. You should do the opposite of what I did. I made it a lot harder on myself. My journey was a lot longer, I truthfully believe. And that's because of what I did. I learned by learning what not to do. It's not smart. Galternate, where you at? There we go. First live. You're lucky, man. First live winners I let slide, but yeah. Congratulations, man, and welcome. Thank you for tuning in. First live. I was about to say that name looked new. Usually I memorize most of the names. But yeah, man. Alrighty, you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. Again, I appreciate every single one of you guys. Doesn't matter if you won or not. Congratulations to the winners. Congratulations to Rhea, Luis Rodriguez, Galternate. And yeah, man, again, appreciate every single one of you guys. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your night. And I'll see majority of you guys tomorrow, mentees. Again, you guys know my game plan. I'm short here. My stop is above that breakdown candle high. Right? So this is my entry. My stop loss is above 29.51. First target's that 28.80. Second target is 2800. And yeah, I'm gonna let it ride until the morning, man. My average is 29.35, 29.34 to be exact. That's my average. Stop loss above 29.51. And yeah, man. First trim would be lows. Second would be that 2800. And yeah, man. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your night. I will see you guys tomorrow. It's gonna keep killing 2025. You guys know the vibes, man. Short these pops and hold. Catch you guys tomorrow. Peace, everybody.